This video falls under fair use. Fair use allows commentary, criticism, and reactions. What's up, back with another one. Pat McAfee reacts to claims Stefanski is undermining Sanders. Check this clip out.
All right, let's go to the last BS or no BS with BA. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, the AFC North is going to have 3 new head coaches in it next year. Every single seat in the division is as hot as ever. Is that BS or no BS, BA?
I think that's no BS, brother.
Whoa, that'd be a huge move.
Whoever wins it gets to stay. Now, the betting favorite would be the Steelers, but if they don't, the way shit's been going on in Pittsburgh lately, big win last week. But my pick last week was the Bengals, and they had it too. They had it up in Buffalo, and my man pulled out his cape, Josh Allen. And
he's the best.
But, I think this division is going to go right to the last game. And, again, at least 3 guys could be gone.
Okay, so when you talk about could be gone, that would mean that they would step away because I think Harbaugh would have to make that decision in Baltimore. I think Coach Tomlin would have to make that decision in Pittsburgh, right? Wouldn't that kind of have to be a coach-decided thing?
I don't think that's ever a coach's deciding thing.
Really? Even in those 2 situations?
Yep. I think it's time. When it's time, it's time. And, unless they're going to retire, okay, that's different. But you're going to get fired. If you have come to a mutual relation agreement, that's getting your fired. First of all, you ain't coming back.
Yeah, I understand that. But I think the way it's been talked about, especially with the Steelers, and I assume with Harbaugh as well with Baltimore, because it's basically similar kind of runs and trajectories, it's like they are going to be the ones who decide when it's over, is how it's always been chatted about. Let's go to Hammer, Todd, AP Tone. Isn't that kind of how it's always been talked about? Is like basically those coaches will decide when they leave. And nobody in Pittsburgh thinks the Rooney family would do it. I just want to let you know that, right? Isn't that kind of the way they think about it?
I think BA agrees with that as well, too, if I had to take a guess.
Totally.
So on that note, that would have to be Coach Tomlin kind of being the one saying that he thinks the time is up, right? And that would be a wild move by Coach Tomlin for everything that we know and how Coach Tomlin kind of operates.
Yeah, I agree, but like, at what point is he tired of hearing all the outside noise? Because I know he probably thinks that, he's still one of the best coaches in all of professional football, and Schefter's reported on it that there's no chance that the Steelers fire him. So yes, I agree with you. I think it would have to be a Tomlin stepping away situation.
How about Baltimore?
Yeah, I agree, because the 2 organizations are so similar. I don't know their ownership or the front office as well as the Steelers side, but like the organizations are so similar. When a coach is there that long, they're not obviously not going to do it in season. Is there a chance after season it'd be like a mutual parting of ways? Is probably how it would be phrased. But there's always the chance.
Pat McAfee stepping in to talk about how the environment might be affecting Sanders brings a different angle because he focuses on how structure, support, and usage shape early development. When multiple voices start saying someone is being limited or held back, it naturally raises conversations about coaching strategies, team priorities, and how opportunities are distributed.
I understand that, but do you think it's different with Baltimore? Because I think, D-Butt said it yesterday. Going into this season, people were like, hey, that's the best roster in the NFL. Like, this team should be either in the AFC Championship or win a Super Bowl. And injuries are obviously a thing, but the Steelers, they did a lot of stuff, but I don't know if anyone, after they signed Rodgers, were saying, like, hey, the Steelers are going to go win the Super Bowl this year, other than Steelers fans. I think around the league, people pointed at the Ravens and were like, hey, this team, that's been the discussion constantly.
And if you get on Reddit, there's some stuff being said.
Ravens were favorites to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Lamar's having by far his worst year. And then, there's some stuff, Reddit, crazy.
What's Pagano doing?
Joining us now, he's got to be thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, senior insider at ESPN for the NFL. A man who might have a little bit more clarity on this particular conversation and all of them. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Shefter.
Shefty, how are you?
Oh, no.
So I'm driving home from the vet. We got Bailey in the front seat. She's got a little bit of infection, so we got to get that taken care of. We're driving home right now, so I appreciate you putting up with me.
No, I appreciate you making the time here. Please tell Bailey the dog. That means Godspeed. We hope the dog is. We hope you're okay. Lower third. Never mind, we missed it. No, we're gone.
Keep guys in a row.
Yeah, please drive, folks. We appreciate you. Nothing can happen to Bailey or to you while we're with you. Once we're off, you do whatever you need to do. Now, on that note, BA, during his BS or no BS with BA segment right there, just said that he thinks there's a chance that 3 out of the 4 AFC North coaches could be changed out going into next year. Winner gets to stay, other 3 potentially move on. Do you feel like that's a potential reality? Because the way we view the Ravens and the Steelers is almost like the coach is going to be the one that kind of decides those types of things. Do you agree or not agree with this?
I think in the case of Tomlin and Harbaugh, they're almost like tenured coaches, like Supreme Court justices. And I don't know if they get to stay as long as they want, but I think they get to have a heavy voice in that. And I think whenever it comes for them, they'll sit down with ownership and the two sides together will figure out what they want to and not want to do. Now, John Harbaugh just signed an extension last offseason. Not that money matters in the NFL these days, with all that franchises are worth and what the owners are worth, but he just did an extension within the last year, I believe. So I know that season might not be going the way that people had hoped and planned, but I mean, he's John Harbaugh. That's the way that I view that. And I view Mike Tomlin the same way. Like, these guys have been there so long that they deserve a certain amount of respect. I understand that questions will come up and speculation will be raised. The way the business operates and works for teams that don't win on a regular basis, particularly ones that have the great reputations and traditions that those franchises do. But, I don't think both are leaving at all. I wonder if one will even leave. And then, Cleveland, there's always going to be questions when they fall short. Get at whoever you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too, yeah. I think when you say it like that, I agree.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's crazy, yeah.
Since then, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Because that's a long time. Yeah.
Browns, yeah.
Cincinnati just does it.
Yeah, Zach Taylor.
Make a lot of changes usually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can people at home hear him? We can
Yeah,
hear him.
Cincinnati.
Can you guys hear him?
Yeah, perfectly.
Can you guys hear him in the back? We can hear him.
We got him.
So maybe just
Great
people at
point he
home
made
can't
about
hear
the Bengals. I agree.
Yeah.
What's up? So, what are my thoughts about this? Here's the thing. When a situation like this develops, especially around a young quarterback entering a demanding system, it always leads to layered conversations from fans, analysts, and people who follow the sport closely. The ideas being mentioned about limited reps, restricted opportunities, or a system that might not be built around highlighting his strengths tend to create a broad discussion about how player development should be handled. Some observers look at it strictly from a structural perspective, wondering whether the offensive scheme allows room for growth, while others consider how organizations balance long-term plans with immediate performance concerns. When claims surface suggesting that someone is being held back or not given full access to the tools they need, it naturally prompts questions about how teams evaluate talent, how coaching staffs distribute responsibilities, and how patience is managed when dealing with a developing player. There is also the broader conversation about how shifts in expectations can affect the narrative surrounding a player before they even have a chance to fully display their abilities. Make sure to drop a comment, smash that like button, and make sure you subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next video.